Good evening, viewers, and welcome to another session of Mazungumzo. This is your host, Dr. Gilbert Gicharu Githere, coming to your homes with another piece, this time different from Hegel's and the subject of others. Now we are looking at practical things in life, because philosophy is kind of a training on how you approach institutions in life. Now, this piece, I'm coming down, landing down the plane and trying to relate Hegel, individual consciousness, the others, and the universal laws, pure consciousness, and coming down to a human being realizing he's not an object. He's a thinking entity, and he has to participate in human life at a communal level. Although the Western concept emphasizes the individual and kind of ignores the bigger subject of others, in here I am trying to relate to show you that there are subjects that bring actually Hegel down, and they show that although the individual is the supreme being and the ultimate person in the Western concept of phenomenology of spirit or phenomenology of the mind, there is also the essence of that the community has to be there. Because even in Hegel, as he develops phenomenology of spirit or phenomenology of mind, inside he starts to appreciate that the self-consciousness has also to entertain others. And it has to sacrifice itself for a better, good society and a system that works fully for the development of the happiness of man and the totality of life in general, that people live a better life. At the core of the discussion of phenomenology of spirit, I'm kind of interpreting it using my own points, in that as you might ignore others, and as you might want to encourage the individual to be the ultimate thing in society, leadership calls very much for those leaders who use conscience, teamwork, discussions, arriving at agreed solutions to problems, and then together approaching that problem and putting a solution that the community has been involved. They have given their ideas, they have contributed completely onto the fruition and the development of that idea. Then you implement it in leadership. And that's what actually becomes a better society, a spiritual society, which Hegel brings. But here I am trying to bring the caveat that equity is of necessity irrespective of what some philosophers might have said and emphasized. Because even in the middle of those emphases that they have given to individuals in their philosophy, they also appreciate the holistic aspect of a society. That goodness will only come if everybody is involved and contributing ideas in a society and having their expectations met. As they contribute to the betterment of society, they also get reward in that the expectations are rewarded. Now, this subject I have here is that I have taken it from a general leadership subject. This is by Posner and Kouzes. These are giants in the world of leadership academics. And so I have borrowed a section from their book, which came out in 2012. You can Google it and you'll see it has got much. So I'll be kind of bringing some to kind of, bring together the philosophy of phenomenology of spirit and what is happening down there and here in 2021 in institutions, to kind of relate the ideas of self-consciousness with what is happening in industries. This is very much into my doctorate. Virtual reality, indigenous people, language, and development. So I kind of want to fuse the two together. So I borrowed this piece of theirs. It is called The Leadership Challenge, How to Make Extraordinary Things Happen in Organizations. You can see it's a really relevant subject to what we are doing. Exemplary leaders, I will read it, have positive expectations of themselves and their constituents. They expect the best of people and create self-fulfilling prophecies about how ordinary people can produce extraordinary results. Now you can see that's a good thing. Results, exemplary results from ordinary people in society. This is one thing people don't know, that they know. I'm not going to use that, they don't know, but I'm saying exemplary leaders, they know that ordinary people can achieve wonderful things and very, very extraordinary, very productive, very scientific, revolutionary type, like Thomas Kuhn tells us, and they can create a shift in paradigm. They can innovate. And they can add on to knowledge of the day piece by piece, as Japanese say, kaizen, little addition to development, to knowledge, helps the society develop in the right direction. Kaizen. Exemplary readers' goals and standards are unambiguous. Leaders must have an unambiguous ideas, vision, and strategy, very clear out there, helping people focus on what needs to be done. They provide clear feedback and reinforcement by maintaining a positive outlook and providing motivating feedback. They stimulate, rekindle, and focus people's energies and drive. You can see that. And that's how development comes along. And all this is actually stated in, because you see, in the phenomenology of spirit, you must remember the idea behind Hegel's writing is that the society is bettering itself. The society is developing because of acquisition of knowledge through language and through sciences. The achievement of formulas coming to help us solve problems of the day. Because mathematics is nothing but language in formulas to help us better people's lives. Gottlieb Frege, the Vienna Circle, fixed order of predicate calculus, is all formulas to help us better people's lives. Leaders to better people's lives. Energy equal mc squared. That's to help us use energy, get us into the future. Electric trains, aeroplanes. It's just harnessing energy. Because people discuss using words, using formulas, and letting science come in and help us solve the problem that faces us as human beings. Exemplary readers recognize and reward what individuals do to contribute to the vision and values. They express their appreciation far beyond the limits of the organization's formal systems. They enjoy being spontaneous and creative in saying thank you. Personalizing recognition requires knowing what is appropriate individually and culturally. So you can say there, recognizing people's contributions and innovations. That link, that missing paradigm shift that Thomas Kuhn tells us is the magic of development. It comes from people, the ordinary people in the village. It doesn't come trickling from, I don't want to say heaven, but it comes just from ordinary people. And it can happen anywhere, because this discussion is also inclusiveness that has been left out before then by the colonizers, who have always shown that the indigenous people have nothing to contribute. That was actually negated by Roti. Because once a people have a language, they are able to create. Once people have a language, they are able to acquire knowledge, and they are able to actually abstract using language, abstract using formulas as simple as they may be, and come up with their own, the fixed order of predicate calculus as developed by Gottlieb. It can be different, but they will always come up with things to solve problems. They will improve the irrigation methods they have. They will improve irrigation methods they have. And they will do all kinds of things. Personalizing recognition requires knowing what is appropriate individually and culturally. I say that. Although recognizing someone's efforts may be uncomfortable or embarrassing at times, first, it really is not difficult to do. And it is well worth the effort to make connection with each person. No matter how big the organization is, a leader must always make sure that the horizontal leadership here is established in the 21st century so that you can go from one room, one institution to the other. The information travels horizontally, digitally, with virtual meetings, internet connection, and portals and web pages, that it reaches everybody, and people in the whole nation know what is happening. There is no excuse on keeping a section of society not informed. There must be equity in the dissemination of information, the dissemination of resources. And people's expectation, no matter what level they are, must always be at the center of an organization. And that's why human beings, when they reach that level, they're gonna use their abilities and know-how and the acquisition of knowledge, as Hegel tells us in the phenomenology of spirit, to explore the universe. Now, one thing people must know, the resources of the universe bestowed to us by the spiritual world are limitless. Now listen to this. Every family on this earth, if we are the only people inhabiting the universe, that is, every family is able to have its own planet. Once the sciences show us how to explore the Mars, and the exploration of Mars must not be done in the format of colonizing. It must be communal. It must be equitable. Everybody must participate in the exploration of the outer space so that we kill the spirit of colonization, me and them and others. It must stop in the 2021 onwards. People must work as a unit. And that's why it is so important. Space exploration must involve everybody. I'm not saying it's a must, but for betterment of the world, it is good to involve everybody in what's happening. Learn from many small and often casual acts of appreciation what works for each of your constituents, how best to personalize recognition. That is key. Everybody in this world has expectations. And that's where you find people are bitter when their expectations and their community expectations are not met. So as we become leaders of the future in the 21st century, the first thing is to understand the cultural differences that we have, the customs. Because as the classic antiquity put it, the wise and the virtuous of this world are those people who understand and respect the customs and beliefs of the world, people of the world, the Gaia. Those are the wise and the virtuous, and will lead us to explore the universe, when every family will have its own planet, not its own farm. It says, oh, I have 200 acres. They will say we are going home to planet 35, planet 55. Those will be the addresses of the future. You are going to planet 200. You are going to planet 1000. The zip codes are going to change. They're going to only change if we're going to work as a unit. So you can see how leadership is important, because if you have people with vision, we will reach there. But when we start to have these parochial ideas of looking at the individual with his farm somewhere in Minnesota, the human being or human race is going to perish. We must be futuristic, as Alvin Toffler put it. And as even Roti has put it, once we respect language, and it is the one which is going to get us to the apex of development. It's only language. Then we're going to get where we want. Now, you can see this subject is small, but it's kind of leading us to kind of where Hegel was leading us. Because even Hegel does not like, he kind of covers many things, like physiognomy and phrenology. He kind of castigates eugenics, because you cannot judge somebody by the color of his skin or the size of his skull or his facial looks, or read somebody's future from his palm. Hegel despises that, and he tells us to respect science. So Hegel is deep. You go just to read him. He also despises people who don't believe in spirituality, because in the whole concept of phenomenology of spirit, the leadership and acquisition of knowledge and everything is actually leading to a supreme being. Not a supreme being as defined by Judaism, Christianity, Islam, or any indigenous religions. It's that bigger thing which the bigger soul conscious that drives everything into harmony and love. To encourage the heart, you must recognize contributions by showing appreciation for individual excellence. This means you have to make sure people know what is expected of them, maintain high expectations about what individuals and teams can accomplish, communicate your positive expectations clearly and regularly. Let people know that you believe in them, not just in words, but also through actions. Because when Hegel is discussing individual consciousness, its acquisition, the contradictions, and dialectics, the negativity and positivity, the perception, cognition, and understanding, judgment, analysis, thinking, ideas, until you come to innovations. He respects so much the recognition of individuals. You got to recognize the achievement of the individuals, because the individual is recognized and shown he is loved. He is able to relinquish his selfishness for a better good of society to come for him and his family, because he is assured, my expectations in this system is going to be taken care, even if it is not 100%. At least he has his expectation assured. And if your future is assured, rest assured, everybody is going to contribute to the goodness of the society that he is living in, because he knows if science should take us to where we all want, and each family can have its own planet, who doesn't want a world like that one? But the selfishness of the earth people must come to an end. They must know there is better good the Supreme Being has stored for us in the future of knowledge. Let people know that you believe in them and that you trust them, because actions are what we look at. We don't look at the skin of a person. Look at their actions and their deeds and contribution to the betterment of man. Don't look at their skin. The color of somebody's skin, the shape of his skull, and the facial expressions. Look at his actions. Words, okay, words form actions, but actions are so important. If somebody is doing good actions, he's not harming the society, he's not harming the climate, he's controlling pollution, he's actually bettering life, he's producing. If he's an agriculturalist, if he's a doctor, he's contributing. If he's a musician, he's contributing. And the world is getting better because of them. We are achieving our country, as Richard Rorty said. Let us not emphasize very much that we are looking for truth and we are looking for objective reality. We are looking for reality. And the foundation of the world is our individual religion. Let us accommodate most of the people if they are contributing for the betterment of this world. Link recognition and reward with performance outcomes so that only those who meet or exceed the standards receive them. Let people receive according to their contribution, but it doesn't mean you exclude others. The family must be fed, must be clothed, must be housed, must be educated. In total, everybody must feel he is getting a good share of education, so we can actually approach the idea of each family having its own planet together. Find out types of encouragement that make the most difference to others. Don't assume you know. Ask. Take the time to inquire and observe. Take time quiet, silently. Listen. And you will know what the people in the community want. Connect with people in person. Stop by and visit them in their workspaces and sit down and just listen for so long. A week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, just listen. Go from one place to the other one. If you are leading 365 million people, you got to have time to listen. Have virtual meetings of just listening. And through the institutions, horizontal management, servant leadership, and you know exactly what people want. And then give it to them through vision and strategy, through different institutions of the society. And make sure saying thank you, a natural part of your everyday behavior. Saying thank you and appreciation. Don't take anyone for granted. Take anybody for granted. Because you see, Hegel becomes important. Although he has shortcomings, but in learning about self-consciousness, you borrow from different philosophies. You borrow from Buddhism, you borrow from Christianity, you borrow from Judaism, you borrow from Taoism. And from these wise people of the past, the sky is the limit. Every family will develop and own a planet, not a farm of 200 acres or 4,000 acres of prairie. No, a planet, because conscience and teamwork, bringing our minds together, will in the end lead us there. Until we meet again, this is Dr. Githere coming to your home with Mazungumzo. This time I dealt with Posner and Kouzes. And they have helped us link Hegel with just leadership. Till then, bye-bye.